everyone, we are back with some more Shapes 2. Since last time I did a little bit of off-screen play. I ended up actually rerouting this whole area I was using I was setting up to use as for tasks. I've actually sort of completely rerouted this. So now we have just trains coming in. We just have trains doing like a whole loop to pick up a bunch of circles, and then they pick up some paint. Yeah, they go through, they pick up all the different shapes, all the different colors, and then they drag them down here, where I just made a sort of loader unloader station, so that way I keep more trains up here with this stuff, because that's a long way down, and then I keep more trains here. So that way I keep trains moving at a quicker pace overall. So we just have everything kind of lined up here: circles, squares, stars, diamonds, red, green, blue, and we just sort of have that like 4 times here. Because the plan was to use this as a task station, so I can just sort of, quickly, build what I need for each layer, stack them on top of one another. Once it's done, scrap it, and go on to the next thing. But over the course of rerouting all of that, we actually got enough upgrade points, enough research points, and we unlocked... we did finish unlocking all the wires, all the wire pieces. I think we may have finished unlocking train capacity, so there's still train speed, and then just overall throughput speed of everything to finish up still. Bigger foundations could be useful, I'm sure we might need those. But for now, I kind of want to just start playing with wires and see what we can do with it. Because potentially... Now I know we still have pins and crystals to deal with. I still have to deal with those at some point. So that should be an interesting thing to deal with. I'm sure those will be neat. I mean, we still got to deal with this milestone too at some point to even unlock pins before we can start working on those. So that's all there still. But we have all the wires, so we can possibly start... we might be able to simply just start, like, building sort of like an automatic task machine, maybe? That would be really cool if we could. Because some of these are pretty wild, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do with this. I did unlock T-shaped foundations. So in case I wanted to, play around with those, I do have a slightly larger foundation because of those, which is nice. Now at some point these may need to move. That's fine, we can deal with that when the time comes. Actually, before we get too far into this, let's go ahead and just make that a little bit longer. Just because I don't know, it just feels These trains aren't doing anything anyway, they can slide over. Go ahead and just do that. I don't know. Feels more consistent to have 3 extra spaces behind each of these, in case I need to expand the trains for whatever reason. Because I need to expand what these guys are carrying down here. I can do with that, but for now, this is fine. Alright, so we've got almost a full load here. Well, looks like this one's running low on circles, but the next couple trains coming through should have some more circles coming down soon enough. Let's see, for now, our first task. Okay. It's just diamonds, a square, and a star to make a thing. Not even colored. Let's... because this one looks like it gets kind of wild almost immediately afterward. So the base shape, oh, it's not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad to start. Then it's a red opposite corner circle, then a uncolored opposite corners. And then after that they drop... oh, they make the second layer. Alright, opposite diamonds. Okay. Oh, then after that, oh, they do another bit with opposite diamonds, and then a full diamond on top, essentially. Oh, and then they start changing colors and stuff. Okay. So they make the star piece green, then they make those 2 crosses. Alright. Interesting. So we don't need any fancy color mixing here, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm sure I'll build a new fancy color mixer at some point somewhere down the line. But for now, I just kind of want to take a platform. And we're just going to grab a big one for now. Let's see what we can do with wires. Obviously, we can just build actual wires. They do things. Build a display. Displays a logical signal. Select connected, clear contents, destroy. Okay, so that takes an input and displays it. Alright, and that takes an input and moves it somewhere. Signal producer makes an output. And we can consolidate, we can, alright, we can pass null, conflict, a number, a color, or a shape. Okay. That's cool. Belt control. Detect and display the speed and contents of a belt. Okay, I'm not sure that's going to be super useful. I mean, maybe. We want to see if our belts are moving at full speed, I guess. And see what's on it, but I mean, if everything's on there, it's fine, I guess. Oh, there's more for wires here. Oh, jeez, okay. Oh, a bridge. Oh, okay, so you can just cross them mid. That's nice. Wire launcher. It's like a wire launcher. Okay, that's the... Okay, yeah, sure. Global wire transmitter. What is this? Oh, jeez. This is huge. Channels. Oh, that's a lot of channels. Alright, 8 channels. Okay. RGB, cyan, magenta, yellow, white, uncolored. Yeah, alright. And that just transmits. That doesn't actually do anything on its own. Okay. A receiver. Okay, so that receives, and then passes outward. Okay, so it can receive, oh, ooh, random operator shapes. Okay, so we could play with that at some point. Alright, neat. So there's pieces there. Belt control, the belt reader, belt filter. Okay. Okay, so filter shapes based on logical signals. More information. Oh, here we go. Let's just read this for a minute. You can fully automate things, even make a make-anything machine. That sounds like fun. Wire buildings work. They transport logical signals. It can be a number, a color, a shape, empty or null, or a conflict. Empty and 0 are off. Everything else is on. Okay. Belt filter to control the flow of shapes. Okay, so if it's empty or a conflict, it just stops the belt entirely. Or if it's a number, it checks for 0, non-zero. Or it checks to a shape, it matches the shape and shoves everything off. That's not it to the side. Okay, random operation. Once you complete the last milestone, randomized shape goal. Suggest trying to build a make-anything machine. So you can read in the shape and automatically produce it. Receive the current random shape by placing a global wired receiver and setting the channel to operator shape. Okay. Simulated buildings. Oh, okay. So simulated buildings, you can do some shenanigans there. Okay, so it takes this and it... Alright, so I assume this is north facing because of the way the destroyers work. So it chops off this diamond and star here, chops those off, rotates it clockwise once, and then chops off the west half again, which chops off that square, which means just the quarter circle is left. And then it checks, and then you just pass that shape signal. Essentially, this is generating a shape signal, and then that passes it via wire into these filters, which blocks the squares but lets the circles pass. Okay. Oh, and then you can stack results. You can repeat this for every possible shape. Okay. Ah, yes, and then unfortunately this appears to be all the information we're going to get in here at the moment. It is still early access after all. This is fine. I have seen some stuff in that Discord, and there's been some notes and hints going around. But that's pretty nifty. I do like that. So we have signature, we have belt filters, we have a button, we can push it, it outputs, we either turn it on or turn it off. It's pretty simple there. Logical gates. So logical gates take, or the AND takes in from both sides, outputs at the bottom, or works the same way. A NOT simply takes in from the large side, flips it. Okay, so that passes it through. Alright, what else? XOR. XOR is always great. Gotta love XOR. These are equality. Oh, okay. You can change all sorts of things. Oh, that is unfortunate. Oh man, it doesn't dynamically show what it is. See, you just know it's a comparator. You just know it's a comparison operator. You don't know whether it's the other thing at a default. What's a gate? Just a regular gate? Forwards the input signal if the trigger signal on the top is on. Okay, so this line tells it to turn on or not. And then this over here is what gets passed out this way. Okay. Simulated buildings. Simulate rotating it clockwise. So it takes a shape code in one side, rotates it, and then passes it out the other. This one, I am facing north. Okay, so essentially it takes... So this will rotate... No, that doesn't rotate. Because that doesn't care. Okay, so yeah, that does rotate with it and not dynamically showing you which side is still there, I guess. Okay, so that stacker is... Ooh. So it takes in from the left and the right, passes it out to the other side. But I don't know which one is the top. Okay. Okay, we can unstack. So it passes in a shape from the one and then stack pulls the left and to the right. That's fair. It's essentially the inverse of that. That makes sense. Simulated painter. Oh, okay, so it takes in a shape one side and a paint the other. Alright. A crystal generator. Oh no, that looks exactly the same. Oh boy. Alright. Have a swapper. And a shape analyzer. Outputs the shape, type, and color of the northeast first layer quarter. Okay. Alright, so let's just play around with these for a minute. Let's just grab some squares here. And let's just simulate some buildings. I mean, do I even need to simulate buildings? Signal producer? Well, if I belt read, I can see it's a square. And then a wire gives me, I can analyze the shape. Is that how this works? Oh, I need... Oh, right, I need displays. Okay, so there's the shape, there's the shape, there's the color. Okay, and if I take these, I just move them off to the side, I simulate a half destroyer. Well, no, because that only analyzes the one corner, right? if I just make a display and not analyze, that shows me the bed there. Okay, cool, cool. And so let's simulate a painter. Let's get a signal producer here, and let's do find color R. Confirm. Okay, so shape comes in one side. Alright. Cool. That's good. Alright. Now... now I want to... Okay. Okay, so that does require it to be the other direction around. Okay. Alright, so it does need to go that direction to make that work. Okay. Nifty. That's nifty. Alright, so let's get a... Alright, let's get a transmitter. And let's pass it... a signal producer. Let's just give it this. Don't delete that. Okay, and then I set down... and for now I'll just set down a receiver and then hook a display into it, and then it gives me that. Okay, cool. So I can see what shape it is it's supposed to be working with. Channel 0 red, that's fine. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Alright, so that's just outputting to a simple display. That's not actually putting... I need to, like, wire out the display there. Okay, so let's work with a... Alright, so let's take another signal producer, and let's take that and we'll just run this through it. So that's outputting this. And then I want to run it to an unstacker. And now I need a display on each side here. Okay, so top goes to the left of the input. The bottom of it goes to the right. Which means what I should do at some point here... so let's see, I should have a display 1, 2, 3, 4? Actually, I don't know if I like that. Alright, so I pull the top one out. And then I take this, I need to route it to another unstacker. And then that runs to a display. Well, no, because then I can take this, put it here. Okay. Okay, and then obviously because there is nothing underneath it, that fails there. But what if we put in this whole big one here that has the extra layer? Okay, cool. So that's how the unstacker works. So we can read the signal out of here, we can parse it through some unstacker shenanigans there. Because I'm thinking what we do with this is if we can, you know, send this signal, essentially we just pass it a signal here, and then that goes in through, you know, one of these transmitters here, and it goes through a bunch of catchers. And then each catcher then brings out the signal, puts it into a display so we know exactly what it is, you know, or we can parse out, we can do a number of unstacking operations so that we can then parse what shape should be done. We can build this layer by layer. We can just build this layer at a time, using logic gates against our existing shapes here. Oh, there we go. Everything's nice and full. Awesome. While we were doing that, I figured that's what would happen. Okay, so we've got some knowledge now about how exactly these wires work, how these sort of piece together what's going on. I think, oh, the speed of the belt. Well, the speed of the belt's not going to show us anything because, well, it's not moving. So yeah, that's not getting any speed at all. Not going to happen. Okay. So one way we could do this, probably the simple brute force way, is to build this. We just bring in all of these pieces for each quadrant of a layer. So essentially this would be enough material to start with building a single layer at a time, which seems, because then I could take it, I could read in, I could use the unstackers to figure out which layer I need to process, and then I can use rotators. I can use rotators and to figure out what piece I should be looking at. So I can see, you know, what shape do I need for, you know, the bottom left corner. You know, what shape do I need for the bottom left corner? In this case, it's a square. So I would use a belt reader. I would use a reader here. Like I'd use an analyzer to see, oh, this is the shape here. Or I'd use a belt filter. Like I'd pass it a signal code and go, you know, like, so I could pass it a signal code from here, you know, from this, you know, from a receiver, and then the receiver could, spit out this code, and then I can parse that using a series of unstackers, and then based on which layer I need to process that I just arbitrarily set up, I would just, do the unstack to get the one shape that I'm looking for, which in this case could be this one here for building the first layer. And then I go, okay, I need the bottom left corner to be a square. So I can only let squares through. And then I could check the coloring on that. And based on the coloring, I can then belt filter this to a different set of paint. Because I didn't see anything in here about filtering pipes or anything like that. There's only belt filters. So I'll have to... So I'd have to use the belt filter to say, okay, this is supposed to be red. So shove this into the painting. I build a paint block that just has red fueling it, and then I just build like 7 or 8 paint blocks, one for each color. So red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, and then white. So that's 7 blocks of color. And then I can use the analyzer here to see if it's red, shove it in the red array. If it's blue, shove it in the blue. If it's not colored, keep shoving it past all of them. And then at the end, I just run everything through a sort of, do I need this? Do I need to stack this or pass it? So I can run it through a stacker array to get, the previous, the next from the previous, from the other blocks here. So like this one would say, do I need to, is this the top layer? If this is the top layer, then, push this into a stacker where these are coming in. Otherwise bypass the stacker there. And then that same sort of logic all the way up. But like in this case, it would just go, oh, well, there's only one layer, so bypass the stacking options, bypass the stackers, and just shove it out onto a belt, which goes to the train. Okay. So I have the sort of general logic here. But that's one way where I just essentially just reduce each of these down to whatever relevant quarter they are for the shape immediately, which then means I would need 16 of these. That is excessive, and I would like it to be smarter than that. Personally, I would like it to be smarter than that, because that seems like way too many resources to try and build through here. To try and get 16 bits, like I can just grab stuff from all over the place here. There's plenty of options for making the different shapes and dragging them in on these lines. Yeah, 16 of these arrays. 16 of these arrays? Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. I kind of want it to be a little smarter than that, actually. If I can, I want to reuse as much of a single piece as I can. So in this case, I can, analyze, I can rotate, I can destroy, rotate, destroy, I can analyze, destroy, rotate, destroy, whatever. With these simulators here, like this, to see how many quadrants of a shape, what quadrants they are. So for example, in this case, I would see it as just one quadrant, so I would need... So I would just run this through a number of... No, because then on the back end, then I still need to break this down depending on that number there. if I could build some sort of proper thing where it runs through a better series of processors based on how many iterations of this I come across as. So if I rotate this so many times and I see the square pop up, 4 times, I can bypass all the stuff, move it forward. Or I can, based on the color, maybe? I don't know. Oh, man. So, the theory, I think I've pretty much got the theory of how to do this, is I can, use these unstackers to parse the signal. I can read the colors out of this, see what's what. But the actual logic of building the steps that everything goes through to build the final layer. Yeah, because at some point, like the layer 3 for, like, even eventually this first layer here gets a piece that's colored, so I'd have to run only the star piece through a painter, before I combine it back in with the rest of the stuff. I also need to make sure I understand how to parse gaps with this stuff as well. It's not always going to output a full array. It's a full shape. So I need to be sure it can handle gaps. So there's spaces between them. So that little bit of brainstorming, that's some useful information we have. And we can use these, because, we can use these to pass it, somehow or another we end up passing it the right, whatever. So if I pass it red on one side and then here, let's just pass it this. What do I get out of it? If that equals that, greater than or equal to, okay, no, so I would need to take this. I would need to run it through an analyzer. Okay, and so that checks the top left quadrant of it. So if it spits out the color here, does that color equal greater than or equal to? Equals. So if these equal, then this fires a true value. Okay. So we can pass we can pass colors through it, and then we can use these to filter. You know, we can use these to trigger a belt filter. So we can use these to trigger, use something like this to trigger the belt filter. Okay. And if it's red, so we can use this and then say, okay, so this would be, you know, just coming in this direction. But if it needs to be painted red, it goes this way. Otherwise, it goes, if it's, so if I send something, alright, so we're going to take this, okay, so that doesn't exactly work here with that. So if I have a belt, no, that's fine, because that would be the shape I'm bringing in that's coming off of the transmitter and the unstacker array, and then it gets passed down to whatever that, you know, just analyze it, tell me what color it is. Is it red? Then push it this way. Otherwise, push it to the left. And so that would push it. We would have a sequence of these to make it red, blue, green, etc. there. Until eventually it just sort of moves on. Into the correct painter and then back out of it at the end. Yeah, I'm not liking the well, actually, no, I could just break this. I could use splitters. Yeah, because I could use splitters. I don't have to bring in 16 sections of this and then break them all down. Like, I could just use... I could use cutters on this stuff. Like, I could use cutters on these. And if I used cutters, then I could use like a one of these bigger platforms like this, or series of them, and I could have it spit out the different quadrants into different directions, into different belts. Or maybe not, maybe it wouldn't even have to be out into different belts. But I could better utilize things. And I almost kind of wish I had bigger foundations to begin with now. I guess if we get to 20 while we're sitting here talking about all this, I can unlock at least 2x2s. those wouldn't be terrible at all, because that would give me like that much space. That is a large block of space. If I get a 2x2. Okay. Alright. That seems pretty useful there. Well, because then I also have the added ability, the added factor of these wires need to process all of these. It needs to process an entire 12 belts worth of this stuff. So there's going to need to be some weird belt navigation to get the wires connected to all the different belt filters and make sure things are going where they need to go. Okay. You know, part of it almost feels like, yeah, maybe I should just, you know, bring them in segments and just copy just copy this 3 more times. And then I just have everything sort of get processed. Just sort of process everything naturally. Just break each one of these down into a quadrant. Just assign, you know, here's the northeast quadrant, here's the northwest, you know, southwest, southeast, or whatever orientation I come up with to make that happen. You know, I just assign, you know, say, hey, this is going to be the northeast processor of a given layer, and then it just reads in, you know, off of these belts here, and goes, okay, here's what I need, and then runs it through whatever color it needs to be, and then passes it down into an array after that then joins it up with these other pieces. I'm sure that would be absolutely huge. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not to mention I still have these tasks here floating around that I should be working on, these milestones, to unlock pins, because I'm sure that's going to also, because I know that's going to add some complications to this that I'll need to figure out some way to handle as well. You know, I almost want to just break this. I'm not sure this is going to be... Like, I'm not sure this is super useful at this point. I mean, I could just take all these trains and I can just load them all back up top and just have like 70 trains up here grabbing pieces. Which may be how I handle that. I just have like 30 trains up there making this round trip constantly. Even if half of them are on the way back, you know, that means there's more coming in. That might be the way I do it. I might change that. You know, let's go ahead and do that. That feels like a better plan, I think. So the way I want to do that, I actually want to just remove this stop entirely. So then I can drag all these rails down here. Man, this is going forever. don't have alternate color trains, which could make this better. I mean, I'd like to not lose access to these, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're just gonna break all of that and be done with it. There we go, we're just gonna deal with it that way. Whatever. Here's all of these. There we go, we're just gonna shove 30,000 trains on this line. I mean, not like they're all going to carry everything, because of just how everything's set up. But you know what? For now, this works. I'm not, you know, I'm not super bummed about it. It's fine. We can live with that. Because while I'd like to be, you know, a little smarter about how I do this, for now, we're just going to make it stupid. So how many more of these do we need here? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this is going to be absolutely stupid, but you know what? It's going to work. And really, I mean, really, that's all that matters. If it works, it works. I'm not gonna, you know, I can make it smarter later. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm pushing buttons like they're gonna do. I'm pushing like M to open up a map for some reason, like I'm playing a different game. Okay, so what I need then is I need a platform. We're just going to make a platform right over here. And all that's going to be on here, we're going to put a global wire. Yeah, we'll just roll with channel 0, that's fine. If it's red, it goes faster. That's how that works, right? Anyway, I'm just going to put a global transmitter here, and that's not centered, and that's going to irk me if it's not. Oh, it's a 3x3. Oh, gross. I can't center that. I can shove it in a corner. I could just like make different ones, but you know what? For now, we're just gonna put it in a corner because I don't know, it fits better in a corner, I guess. All right, so the signal producer, this is going to send it something. So for now, we're just gonna send it this. This is going to send out this here. So then I'm going to need... Alright, so we're going to start with just a basic platform to see... Alright, this is going to need and that'll need a receiver. Alright, let's go. Let me grab a new drink real fast before I get into this. Sorry, that took a minute to get the tea ready. But we're all set now. Okay. So let's get this back. Alright, so we need... Well, let me get a bigger platform here. Yeah. Yeah, bigger platform. Global wire receiver. Because then I want that to display what we're looking at. And I want this to parse. You know, we're going to have this one parse the... We're just going to have it parse the northeast corner of the first layer. So we know what this is. So let's get that sort of unstacking built again. Let's get that unstacker built again. You know what? Maybe this is better over here. So I can read each shape. So top, second, third, bottom. Alright, so here's the bottom layers. Actually, this can just go here. Oh, operator shapes came in. Upgrades. Yes, please. Bigger foundations. I'm sure I will use all of them. I'm sure I'll use some 2x2s. That could be good. Alright, so I don't actually need this here. Okay, so I need to bring in... Essentially, I want to have belt filters. Maybe I need bigger platforms now. I do get a little more space in the middle of it if I do. Alright. So what I want to do... Let's flip that, I think. Oh, let's get it further into the corner there. so what I want to do is I want to figure out... So right now that's just a display of what each piece is. It doesn't actually do anything on its own. Alright, yeah, and this just comes in, just sends that. So this on its own isn't doing anything, it's just displaying. So what I need to do is I need to figure out how I can parse the... I can just use this to then just find the bottommost layer. So if this is blank, use this. If this is blank, use this. If this is blank, use this. So I know which shape I'm processing, because this is going to be... Actually, better yet, I could just make this... No, we can start this as this is the top layer, this is the second, this is the layer underneath, this is the layer underneath that, this is the absolute bottom layer here. So for now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for now, we have platforms in the way. Alright, and those can just carry the signal all the way out. Okay, cool. You know, so we're just going to you know what, trying to do that dynamically, I think, might be a little silly. So let's not do it dynamically, let's do it the smart way. So the utmost layer, so we don't care about any of these. No, we don't care about any of those on this one. So we want to take, so we just want to take this shape here and start parsing against this shape. And we're going to parse this. You know what? Let me see if I can... You know, if I can make a stupid little platform here. Alright, so this is going to be kind of silly, but... I use belts. Don't really like using belts, it feels... I can make it with trash. can see that from pretty far out. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's... We're just going to name it Layer 4, because that's really what it is. Just L4, I think, is going to accomplish what we want it to. L4. L4 northeast. Yeah. Because then I can copy that, I can just make it say, you know, whatever I want for the other bits. But for now, that's fine. Northeast is good. All the other bits already have that extra shenanigans there, so we can just skim that for the moment. But what we want is we actually want to we want to bring that out. So we want to see what it is, and then we bring it out, we just wire bridge it out. And then we need to bring it down, and we need to analyze it. What are you doing? Put it down. There we go. Alright, and then this gives us display and a color. Or a shape and a color. Okay. Alright, so we have a display and a color. Yeah, because we can use this to pass other things further along. But what we want to do with this is now we want to set up a belt filter here. need to make this work on 3 layers as well, so let's see. So we may be able to actually consolidate this back down to a 1x1, which could be nice, but for now we're not going to worry about that. We just want to make sure we have a way to get 4 of these. Because I can use this. So that only comes out the backside. Alright, that only goes in the back. It's a direct crossover. Okay. The rub there is now I need to figure out how to get it into the middle in a preferably stackable design. That would probably be for the best if I had it stackable. Otherwise I have to like layer these in different spots, which feels kind of awkward. I mean, it can be done, but it just feels bad. this needs to not do that. This needs... fires over here. Because this has to come in route around. That, which means all of this needs to come way down here. This is definitely that, man, this looks really dumb, but it's gonna work. Hopefully. Because at some point, and that is stackable, like, I'm not using other layers. Like, I'm not using other layers for or floors for this. So that does work. So I can use this at some point, because I'll need to do more unstacking out of it at the end, though. So so let's go ahead and let's copy what we've got here, and let's test it here. And it tries to shove all of them, and they just get stopped because there's nowhere for the pill to actually go. Excellent. So that works. Which means if I take this as a whole, I can clone it up to the top. And now I need to get these to the appropriate layers. So there. Looks kinda dumb, but it works, so I'm not gonna complain. I don't think we can split, like, I don't think we can split on corners. No, we cannot split on corners or other splits. But we do see that these filters are working as expected. So we can use this 4 times here, and that kicks ass. Alright. Well, actually, in theory, I don't need them all to be wired like this, because I could adjust this. Like, I could adjust this because I can just pull this, like, if I have it transmitted over to this side already, like, I can just branch it across. However, this works, so looks messy, can be optimized. I know this, but it's working for now, and that, my friends, is good enough for the moment. So we're going to take this, and we're going to clear this. We're going to take this, fill it here, because at some point we'll optimize this. And for now I can get rid of this. And I'm going to save this as you know, I don't need to blueprint this. I don't think so anyway. So we're gonna just not blueprint that for now. But it's all just red receivers there. We can change channels and colors. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So we already have a problem. We have a small issue. This doesn't do partial matching. This does exact matching. Oh boy. Okay, so I need to do... Alright, I see what I need to do here. Okay, so that's not working. So what I need to do is I need to belt read this, get the shape code out of it. Alright, so I need to get the shape code out of this, and then parse it down to just the 1/4, just the 1 quadrant. And then do a comparison on this. If this signal matches the single quadrant signal here, so if those match, then it brings in okay, yeah, I totally messed that up. Okay. Whoops. Oh, I totally messed that up. Okay. But like that wiring to do things, yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. How do we get this out then? Because this was me being obviously wrong here. So we can delete that. We can delete that bit, because that's also broken. That's also not the shape we want to compare. Same with this, not the shape we want to compare. For now, we'll just use this to keep things there. But instead, I actually want to go ahead and just remove all of those for the moment then, because that doesn't help. Okay. Okay, so this signal here, this needs to come out. Okay, so what we need a belt reader here. So if we have a belt reader come out, this gives us the shape. And So during the course of this path, we need to belts or things here. We need to kill the west half and then kill the second half, so we need a rotator. So it rotates, and then we need 3 more rotators to bring it back in line. Because we don't have a counterclockwise rotator here. How unfortunate. But we can do that. Then we can run these through a logic gate. We can run them through an equals comparison. And if they equal each other, then we can run them through these bits here. So through here into this one. We need to get that equals back to the other side and also to the top there. Man, trying to lay these wires out is weird. Oh man, this is intense here. We sure aren't getting a whole lot done. Like, just looking at things to happen. But I'm enjoying this, trying to puzzle this out. Like, how do I get all of this information across the bend? Like, I think we might actually... You know what? Let's go ahead and get the... Let's get the bigger... Let's get the bigger, Right, and these aren't receiving any signal right now, so they're going to fail, which is good. I wonder... Let's play with it over here. Aha! I can push these closer to each other. I can push those in the middle there like that. I'm not sure that really opens anything. That might be something I need to... That might be something I can deal with that makes this easier, but I'm not seeing it immediately. Not immediately seeing what that does. That opens for me. But that's good because it tries to shove things into the same square, but that's fine. That's good. That can open a little build space, actually. Okay, so I need to bring off of this. Give me the top right corner here. Because if I do the equals on so if I take this and I do the equals operator over here, right? If I do that here, because that then triggers all of these. Then I need to get, okay, so let's take these, bring them up here, because then I can bring this wire here to do this number. Oh, okay, so I do need transmitter and receiver to be specifically the other way around, okay. So I do need that, okay. That's interesting. Good to know. Alright, so then this sends this star over here, then that determines is it equal, and this fuels this leap here, fuels this one, and then also this here. Now the question is getting it back into here. I get it back into here. Well, that's a transmitter, and that's a receiver. doesn't solve that issue either. And that's a receiver. Yeah, so that transmits. Oh, that's a receiver. Okay. So that needs to throw to over here. And then this throws here. And then they need to throw it back into the middle. So what I need to do is, instead of coming all the way here, do one of these numbers. And this wraps down here like this. Because then I can copy these guys. Oof, or not. No, because it has nowhere to come out the backside of it. Ah! Push these down any further here. I can just take a transmitter receiver pair, just jump it in like that. Wait, nope. What if I do it this way instead? Then I don't have the room. Don't necessarily have the room for some stuff. Perfect. Because then I can just run that wire there to do that. And then I can take this. Yes. And then that's a transmitter. There we go. So then I just throw it in this direction. And it tries to shove it nowhere. You know what? That's fine. Man, this is... Oh man, just trying to... Just winging this, huh? This is great. Operator levels, okay, fine, whatever. I think Foundations 4 will be our next big thing, maybe? We have more platforms to work with, there's more platform types. I like this. I like this. I mean, alternately, instead of doing all of this rotation, I could have just run it through a cutter, run it through a couple of cutters, and done the comparison afterward. Oh man, because that's all I'm doing anyway, right? Here I am still trying to like expand it and make. Here I am still trying to like bulletproof this for later down the line after compacting it instead of just making it stupid to start with now. Oh boy. But this is fine. Because I know this kind of works. Because I don't need to run this on 3 levels. I can run this off of 2. I can run this off of just the comparison down here at the baseline, and then just pass the signal using wires up to the north side. So for now, we're going to take this, clone that up, Actually, no, we're just going to take all of this. Take everything. Clone it up. We're actually going to break all of this, because this we don't need. We're not going to use it up here. This we don't need all the way up here because we can bring the signal in. We have room on the second floor to do this. We'll keep this wiring in here. Actually, oh, deleted too much. No, because I do need this. I don't need this one. That's the one I don't need. So then on this tier, we don't need this. On this tier, we don't need this. So we're just going to take this. Bring this up to 2. And that jumps across into there. And then to bring this because I do need to bring that over like that. But the way I want to do it is with do one of these. Actually, wait, no, I can just do that over here. That brings it in there. And now this comes in and does bring it to 2. This and that brings it to 3. So that splits it off into the requisite 3 floors. But yeah, that sends that into the middle there. This brings it up here, hits all of those. Because all 3 of these need to come over here and hit this. Because I don't really have the room. I mean, I could easily make the room to only need the 1 receiver, which, you know, I might just go ahead and do that. I essentially just kind of replicate this line up here using these like this corner here, but yeah, we'll do that. delete that for now. And then we're going to delete this one, which means we deleted this and this here. So then from here, so we grab this, we come up, we have this, and then this branches like that. So then that branches up to the second floor. Oh, no. Wait, how the hell is it? There we go. There we go. Receiver is... We cut back the number of receivers. We just do some splitting within the limitations we have. But hey, that makes a pick this part or don't. Based on its northeast corner, which means we can just copy paste this across all of these here, and we can know whether we need them or not. I like it. That's good, that's good. Alright. So we know what all of that is. This... Alright, let's copy it and see what happens. So these should all block themselves, and these should run right on through. Excellent. Man, wires is wild. I'm digging these. 150, whatever. I'm not hyper worried about the throughput, it is what it is. I mean, I know that's my throughput right now, because, hey there. But that's good. We know that the logic that we have so far is working. We know the actual implementation of said logic is working. So now we can take these, bring those across. These should stop. These should stop. All right, cool, great. So that means my next routine is then a cutter platform that just gives me the northeast corners. One, two, three, four to give me the northeast corners, and these won't fire for yet. Actually, I don't need to run these here. I can do this. I can do this to just pour them all into a belt here to do this nonsense. Yes. And then that gives me my corners. Alright, cool. So now I need... Alright, so now what I need next is I need essentially a painting array. Now I know there's been some updates on a beta version that's available through Steam. I haven't actually gone in and played with any of that. That does introduce something that would make this next section a lot easier than it is. But for now, I'm just going to build. An array of painters, I guess. So we start with. Oh man, is this all full up at this point? Probably is. These are all filled up at this point. Yeah. It's gonna take me forever to actually work on, but hey. We're getting here. But for now... So now I have this. I need to... What I need to do is I need to run these through... I need to get a series of painters... Okay, so painter. Okay, so I can hook up red to one of these. I need. How many painters do I need? I need 7 painters. I almost want. That kind of irks me. That's not all just like jammed in here. But it's just right up. You know what? Painter. Paint. Where is painter? Where's my roller paint? paint roller. Yeah, we're just gonna override that because I like this orientation better for some reason. Also because it just fixes that. That was gonna irk the heck out of me until for no end. But what I want to do, so what I actually want to do is then take this and run it through so for now these would come through, and then I need start with this. We're just gonna not do it that way anyway. Anyway, so we pull it out and we get the color out of here. So the plan here is to then get... God, we have to pretty much do this entire same thing here. Oh boy. No, because we have to change it because these actually have to route out to the other... These need to actually route out to the other bits. And push everything off to the other direction. Which means we're probably going to be playing with some launchers to get things shoved out of this directionality. So we need a belt reader. So step one, we need a reader. And we're not reading a shape signal. We're going to read the color signal out of it. So we analyze it this way. We do an equals comparison here. To get the color out. Because this is gonna tell us the shape. Yeah, that's gonna tell us the shape. This one will tell us the color. And then based on the color, if color equals so we're gonna need to reroute these. So in the end, they're gonna come down here. Oh, that looks terrible. Let's not deal with it that way. Or you know what? We're gonna take this. We're gonna move that down here. Then we can pull this out and we can just take this out and route it to a million belt filters somehow or another. That should be fun and interesting to figure that one out. Alright, anyway, so... Sugar, we need some room there. Because I'm positive we're going to need to be throwing this across somewhere. Most likely. Like, we do this silly little, like, here we can catch a few this way, and then we have to throw it across a few to get it into the middle somehow. So let's see what we've got here. So we can make... So we need a belt filter. Straight, so we know we need belt filters. On... So we know we need a belt filter on every lane. And every one of them, we're going to immediately have a launcher to get them out. We know that's how we're going to build every one of these. Well, we're not going to build every one of them that way. But we will because it looks cool. We could also potentially rebuild this instead of using... Because we could have used launchers on these belts if they go the correct direction. That way we can just get wires out and in without having to play around too hard on that. We could have done it that way. Yeah, we can try doing it. So if we can do it like this here. There we go. I think that does it. Maybe? Perhaps not. No, we need to launch it. No, because we'll need to, if we launch it into the belt reader here. That gives us room here. No, let's double check this again. Well, we can always actually, we have a huge amount of room, we can space this out. I don't know why I'm getting so worried about how much space it's going to take here. does that work there? No, because then I can pull this in down here like that. Do I get it? Oh man. I'm trying to wrap my head around this routing. Routing is a nightmare. Why are you quit flashing at me? Don't care. Do I need a 2x2 to make this happen? I might. I might need to restart this on a 2x2. Don't know. For now, let's figure that one. Okay, no, I think I've got it now. That's a perfect launch there. And there's launch period. There's a launch there. one doesn't line up now. There's that. And then this comes out. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is 4. This is 1. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that says pass it to the red. Hold up a minute. Jeez. No, because I need to compare if this is equal to gray. I don't need to... What am I doing? Jeez. Alright, you know what? Scrap all of this, because this is doing it wrong. Actually, it's not. This part is wrong. That is the only part that's wrong. Belt control, no, I need... Simulated buildings. I need, or no, not just a signal producer. Color-U. If uncolored. Or no, wait, yes, if uncolored, pass it through. Yes, if these are equal. Okay, so if uncolored, if this equals uncolored, it goes down. Otherwise, it gets shunted. No, something doesn't sound right here. No, this whole logic is messed up. All this logic is broken. No, because I want to say if it's red, shove it this way. Actually, no, this could work. I can use it this way. This is... No, I can just change this. So if these are not equal to in configure color-R. There we go. So so I do a not equals red. So if this does not equal red, it goes through, it just keeps moving forward. Otherwise, it shunts it over to a painter. And that would be a painter for... And that would be a red painter. There, that makes sense. Otherwise, I pass it down and I repeat this over and over again for each color. Okay. So now I do this, and I pass it. Sure, I'll take this and then pass it green. Color G. So if this So if this does not equal green, send it down. So if, because it's looking at the top corner here. It's just looking here at the top corner, we're getting it uncolored at the moment. But if that does not equal green, then say, okay, keep on rolling, keep going to the next one. And then I want to do the same here. So if this does not equal blue, it passes successfully to the next check. Okay, so then it passes down to blue. If it is blue, so if these do equal, so if this equals blue, this is going to fail, and it's going to shunt everything over here. And then this essentially just brings everything just back in line for the next check, I think. I think that's the way I want to do this. I think that makes it easiest. Otherwise, I'm bringing it out and over, and then back down at some point, down to the end. But now I want to take this and do... So red, green, blue. So RNG is yellow. So I need to split off the red and the green into a mix. So where is my mixer? What direction is my mixer here? Okay. No, I don't like the way that lines up. No, because I have to be able to get the red back out to mix with blue at some point as well. Yeesh. Alright, and then I need to get green and then to mix everything together at the very end to make white. Oh boy, alright, so I need... to do something about mixing. That's what I need to do, is I need to do something about mixing here. You know, maybe I do update, maybe I do just let this sit for a minute and just, wait until that next version actually officially launches, because it has fluid gates, which means I can have this whole thing go through. I can do color matching, like I can like I'm doing with belt filters here. I can use that on pipes, but I could potentially use that on pipes and make this a little easier. Okay, so let's just see what I can do here to so I need to do this. red out, and then green out, and then blue I can continue doing this with. Because I need red and green to do this. But at some point I need red again. I still need red again after this. A few times actually. God, do I just pre-mix my paint somewhere now too and bring that in and make this even more? Maybe? That would certainly be the easy way to do it. Go pre-mix the paint somewhere, rather than just mixing it on demand here in this line. So this is working fine here. And these are identical here, I believe. Or maybe not. Yeah, these are identical. So this one can go for now. Don't need that. 90 points for 3x3s. Whew. That's big. Maybe I get train speed next. Oh, 51. Getting there. Because I really want to figure this out. Like, as it is here, you know, just, I can have something. You know, maybe at this point I need to just expand this so there's more room. Right away, huh? Alright, well, trains go faster. So, there we go. Trains go faster. Not a whole lot faster from where they just were, but it's a decent chunk. Anyway, so I need these, because that branches off and does that number. This does here, this brings in blue. Right, and that's just the basic painter as it stands. I don't need that up there. That is what it is. So red, green, blue. Maybe this breaks off. Oh, I don't want it to go too far out though. Well, maybe it can. Because if I copy this, then I'm just worried about, then I just have some other rotation going through, and I have a little bit of room down here because I'm breaking in on the third. That gives me a few extra columns to break to use over here if I need it. So I need this to come down here. So if everything needs to keep moving, I need to then branch these off somehow. Because these need to come down and go off to the next bit, and the next bit, it's, that's... I don't like that. The routing sucks. I wonder if I should try and do all my mixing up here and then route things around. I think that would be best. So if I get some mixers, so how can, alright, so let's navigate mixers around then. Oh. Alright. So we navigate blue and then split off green here. No, because we need a way to branch this properly. I can use this space here because I can do that RGB connection there, and then these can branch, these can come and branch. Because this I don't know, this is not. Oh man, this is not happening. Oh, my brain is not processing this properly tonight. I think I might just wait until I can just get fluid filters and call it a day. I can figure out how to play with those later. Yeah. Maybe by that point I can brainstorm and actually figure out how I want to figure out if I can parse the entirety of a shape. Like, if I can just take this like block of stuff, figure out what the whole layer should be. Well, no, because things might be colored separately, which I need to account for. I need to account for things colored separately, which is an issue. Okay. Yeah, so it feels like this is the way I should be doing it, because then I can run these through some logic gates. Hey, is this, is cyan then pass it green and blue into a, then pass into a mixer. Or I just have a mixing station somewhere around here. I just build a mixing station and just make every other color and dump it onto train lines and just make this even bigger and sillier. Oh man, that might be the way to go. Either way, my brain is not, I am not parsing the routing right now. I just can't wrap it, just cannot wrap it around it. Also, we have a great number of platform units remaining, so we're going to take this opportunity and just call that a good note. End this on a high note, even though we didn't do, honestly, much of it. I mean, hey, we figured out some wiring. We got wires to do stuff. You know what? That's progress. We got wires to do stuff in a few different patterns. One is to figure out, hey, is this the right shape I need for this? And then we started, filtering it by color. So you know what? That's a win in my book. We're going to call it there for tonight, I think. We will see everybody next time.